This week we're discussing or rewriting a scene in an anime series, either that we love or that we hate. And I think I'm going to go with one of my favorite scenes in all of anime, which comes from Gundam Wing. A lot of my favorite scenes come from Gundam Wing, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, now that I think about it, there's two that I'm gonna talk about. So if you haven't seen the end of Gundam Wing, just don't even watch this video, because the rest of the video will be on mute. I'm not even gonna put the spoiler tags up, because I'm just forewarning you now. The rest of this video is nothing but a massive spoiler, so... I am a huge fan of sacrificing characters for the greater good. And there are two characters in Gundam Wing that I think really easily could have been sacrificed, essentially. The first one comes toward the end of Gundam Wing, where Catra and Dorothy are dueling in the Zero system room thing that Zex built. They're fighting with swords, and Dorothy is using the Zero system, while Catra is fighting on his own. At one point, Dorothy skewers Catra in the gut, and he has this great speech, and then he faints, later to be reawoken and fight in the final battle. Now, while I love Catra, and I'm really glad that Catra is able to survive not only the end of the series, but also the end of Endless Waltz. At the same time, I think that that could have been an amazing moment to really have Catra have a really cool, sacrificial end. In this speech, he talks about how Dorothy can't hate her own kindness and can't hate herself because of her own kindness. And I mean, I always laugh in that scene, because right after she skewers him, he says, "You're the kindest person I know, kinder even than me," or something like that. And I'm sorry, if somebody skewers me in the gut, I'm not going to be calling them kind. But the truth of the matter is, Dorothy is kind in a certain way. And I think that Catra having this great speech about how she can't hate her own kindness, how she can't hate herself because she's kind, because if she did do that, I mean, then his final words were, "Then we are even lower than animals." I just think that that is an amazing moment, and I think that having Catra die in that moment could have given Dorothy this newfound determination to actually turn around and maybe even fight on the Gundam side, and even possibly fight in Sandrock. I think that that could have been an amazing kind of twist in the series, and have Dorothy not become a Gundam pilot per se, but at least fight in the final battle in honor of Catra. And I think that that could have been an amazing moment, an amazing character building thing for Dorothy. I personally love Dorothy. I think she is probably one of the most amazing characters I have ever witnessed in any anime, seriously. Like, she, to me, is probably one of the deepest characters in all of Gundam Wing. And while she's not my favorite, she's very high up on my list. She's not my favorite. I think that her journey as a character is tremendous. And I think that even continuing that into something even better would have been even greater. So I think her killing Catra could have really built that character even further for that last real big battle that they fought in that war. The next one is actually going to be from Endless Waltz, because the end of the series I don't think would have been nearly the impact had it been at the end of Endless Waltz, because I think the fact that Hiro decided he wanted to survive for the very first time in his life, wanted to actually survive, I think killing him at that point would have been stupid and cheap. However, that last moment in Endless Waltz, where he shoots that last bit at Brussels mansion and Zero explodes. Let me back up. In the scene in the water where Hiro wakes up and he asks Zero if you can move, at that point, I think that was really more or less Hiro talking to himself, and then him finally saying to Zero, "Sure, this'll be your final fight." Again, he's not talking to the Gundam. He's really talking to himself, saying, "This is it. I'm done. No matter how this ends, I'm done fighting." And while that remained true, he survived and decided that his mission was complete and that he was done, minus the new thing that's coming out after Endless Waltz that I was all spoiled about, but we're not going to talk about that. Basically, I think that having him die when Zero explodes would have been really beneficial. Kind of like that moment of honor where a captain sinks with his ship, goes down with his ship. You know, if the captain runs away from the ship that's sinking, then they're not very honorable. Now, while I do like his final moment where he holds the gun up to Marimea and shoots, and the gun is empty, and him just saying that he's killed Marimea and he will never kill anyone ever again, I think that moment was also very special and very wonderful. But I also think that having him die by giving him that moment of destroying everything and then having him die in that moment might have even been better. Though if I had to choose, I would go with my first story and not kill both of them off, but kill Catra off before I would kill Hiro off in that moment. Because again, I do really, really love that moment with Marimea and Relina and Hiro. And I think that moment is perfect in its sense. But I also think that having Hiro blow up with Zero would have been even more beneficial. Then the other Gundam pilots could have finished what he started. Basically, he would have given them the door to win. So that is my thoughts, and I believe Sheikah, we're gonna see you tomorrow because we're switching days again, and I think Noah and Sheikah are switching this time.